Morning. Welcome back to my channel. This is my second video. Last week I did a video about online presence, and I got a number of feedbacks. One of the feedbacks was from my colleagues, those whom we were with at Andela. They were asking me, "You are now designing, guys, Google websites." I would like to respond to that. What I'm trying to do is that I'm trying to make videos to people who are not non-technical, and that's why most of my examples I'm using non-technical websites, non-technical stuff, so that any individual or any non-technical person can be able to understand and follow along, and also see how they can benefit from these tutorials. So that's why I used an example of Google site, but I do technical sites like database sites and softwares. So today, the topic of today is USSD. So we have been interacting with USSD in our daily lives. Our day does not end without you using a USSD, as long as you own a phone. And most of the time, maybe you don't know what you're using or how it's made or anything. So today, my purpose of today is to try to enlighten you on USSD, what it is, how it is built, and how it can benefit your business. So I'll go ahead and share my screen. I'll share my screen. Then I'll go to my presentation. I'll go to my presentation right here. So just as I said, the topic is USSD. So what is USSD? As you can see from our screen, we have a mobile phone sample here with some code written down here, which is *384 *2022 4#. So that is an example of a USSD code. So basically, you're already trying to imagine what we're trying to talk about. Okay, you know that it is used on a phone, and you know that it starts with a star and some code. So that is what you've been interacting with every day, and that's what we want to talk about today. So what does the word USSD stand for? USSD stands from unstructured supplementary service data. Okay, and it is used by different organizations, different individuals in everyday life. So what are some of the uses of USSD? One, USSD is used in banks. For example, Equity has its USSD code, which is *247#. If you dial this code on your phone, if you have account on Equity Bank, it will prompt you to enter your account number and then your PIN. Then you can access Equity services. Same to Stanbic. They have *208#. You can transfer your money from your bank to your phone. You can deposit money from your phone to your bank account. You can request for easy loan and all that stuff. Another use is mobile networks, for example, Safaricom. Safaricom has *100# or *544#. *544# is used to redeem Bonga points. It's also used to check Bonga points balance, and it's also used to transfer Bonga points. And same goes to Airtel. They also have *100# where you can dial that and buy bundles. Another use of USSD is surveys. So most of the organizations that I've worked with, they use USSD to collect data from their clients. Assuming an organization is based in Kisumu and they have a project in Siaya, for example. It's easy for them to conduct a survey on their products or services with clients who are in Siaya without actually sending an individual to Siaya. They just create a USSD system and then inform the clients that if you dial this number, you can either purchase a product or you can give your feedback on our products. So that has been used with different organizations. And then another use is voting. USSD has also been used in other countries and even in Kenya for people to vote for models or for example, if there is a competition for a product, you just dial as a given code and then you can vote or share your opinion. So those are some of the uses that USSD has been used for. So what are the advantages of using USSD over mobile or web-based application? One, USSD does not require internet connection. As you know, not every part of this country has access to internet connection. So it's easy if you have a phone to just dial star under the code and you get to access services rather than moving to a place where there is internet. So it helps in places where there is no connection. And secondly, it works on all standard mobile phones. We call them kabambis. Not everybody in this country owns a smartphone. So they are not deprived from services. For example, purchasing airtime, simply because they don't have a smartphone. So USSD works on all platforms. And if you're a business that is intending to reach many customers in places where there are no access to internet connection, USSD is your option. And then lastly, USSD is also highly customizable. It can work with any business, be it real estate business, be it food industry, so be it hospitality. So every sector of a business, it is able to help. So those are some of the advantages of using USSD. So right now, I'll take you to an example of a USSD project that I did, so that I can try to elaborate or give you a view of what I'm talking about. So I'll go to my screen here, and this is a testing site that I created, which I'm going to use to elaborate what I'm talking about. So for my project, I've designed a USSD for a chips business that we are running. So currently it's on testing. It is not yet on production. So if you try it on your phone, you'll not be able to access it. That's why I'm just using it for elaboration purposes. So if I dial star 384 star 2022 4 hash on my phone and click call, it gives me an option here, same as any other USSD service all over the country. For example, Safaricom, if you do star 100 hash, then call, it will give you a menu like this one. So for this, the first question is, what would you like to order? Now, assuming that we are on our chips business. So I want chips plain, which goes at 100 shillings, or I want a soda 300 milliliters, which is at 30 shillings. So for my case, I'll choose number one, which is chips plain. Then it asks me my location. So where am I located? I'll choose, so it asks me Kiboso, Adago, Nyangori, Kapko, Riat. These are local areas around where our business is located. So I'll choose number one, which is Kiboso. Then it will ask me, how can we reach you? Then type your phone number. Then I'll type my phone number. And then I'll submit. So once I submit, this information goes to the system. Right now I'm working on the database side, and then the information is saved, and then they can reach me. So that is just an example of a USSD and how it works. So next thing is how it's created. As I said, I'm trying to educate non-technical people on technical stuff, but I'm not going to details. I'm not teaching you code, but I'm just trying to enlighten you to know that these things, they might look mysterious, but they are just things that are made by human beings and anybody can do them. So let me go to my code and show you how this has been designed. So the USSD projects that I showed you, the menu that I showed you is designed using a Python Flask, as you see here. So I set Python Flask application. After completing the application setup, it will give me files like the ones you see on the side. And then I create a route. After creating a route, then I go into, I open a session. I create a session. After creating a session, some of the things that I'll need from the user are phone numbers and then text. So then I create the first instance. So I ask if the text is, what would you like to order? Then the response, some of the response that I will give to the, the end user is either one, chips, plain, soda, all these options that you saw on the USSD. And if the text is one, if the response is one, for example, and one means chips plain, then it will give the location. If the text is two, still it will give the location. If the text is three, four, like that, location. Once the user is done, then it will go to the next stage where the text is either one and one, where one and one is one, the first one is chips plain, and the second one is the location. Then after giving the location, it will ask for a phone number. Once it asks for your phone number, then we verify that, okay, you have entered the first place, which is chips plain, and the second place, the second one, which is your location. Then the third place, we are looking if the response, your response you're giving, it starts with 007, which tells us that it is a phone number. Then we thank you, we'll give you a thanks message, and then we send that data back to the database. So this bit is not yet complete, but that basically is the code. So that is the first bit, create your code. After you create your code, you host this code. For example, mine, you can use DreamHost, you can host with Safaricom, you can host with any hosting company. Like mine, I've hosted with Roku because it is a test bit, it's not yet live. Then you create Africa stocking account. So Africa stocking account, Africa stocking is one of the companies that hosts USSD services. They host USSD services, voice services, SMS services, and also they have airtime services. So once you come to your Africa stocking, then you choose your service code. And our service code, for example, is this code that I used here, *384 *2022 for hash. Then we have the URL for where I've hosted the site. You see now mine I've hosted at heroku.com. So you add it there so that once somebody dials this code, it calls this URL. Once it calls this URL, the URL will trigger that code, and then it will bring you that on your mobile phone like this. Then that is service code. Then you create a channel. Creating a channel is you come here and you pick shared services. Then you pick your code. So this code is this code. This 1 to 3 example of a channel is the code that I put here, 2022 for hash. Okay. So you add it there. Then you add in the callback URL. So the callback URL is the callback URL that I showed you here. Okay. You add this URL from where you have hosted. Okay. Once you do that, you create a channel. Once you create that channel, now your channel will be added on this part. Then once it is added, now you can use it on a simulator like this one or on a phone once it is hosted and live. Then session, The session bit shows you how the user interacts with your code. So if, for example, you're a system admin, it will show you step by step what the user was typing. Okay. So let me use this one for example. So for this, the user comes and types option one, and then app response says choose your location. Then the user responds by one, choosing location of Kiboso. Then how can we reach you is the next response, and then the user types in the phone number. And then when the user tries to send, it fails because I have not added the database bit. But basically, those are the steps that we did right here. Okay. So that's that. So let's see analytics. Analytics is just how your app is performing, how people are interacting with it, and whether it is success, how many success requests have been achieved, and how many failed requests have been achieved. So it gives you the summary of how your app is performing. Okay. So so that is how you create the settings on the African stocking. Then yeah, so I've explained creating a channel. And then now let me explain launching a simulator. So once you have all those information set, you come down here to test. So for testing purposes, now that our application is not live and cannot be accessed on any phone, now you can come to a simulator down here, select launch a simulator. It will open on a new phone, a new page. Then you enter your phone number. Then you launch. So once you launch, it is saying that another one is running. Let me close this one and try to launch again. And then it launched. So it asks you, do you want to send an SMS? So assuming you are building an SMS system, you can launch an SMS system. Do you want to launch a payment system? Do you want to launch a voice call or airtime, purchasing an airtime or USSD? So that's what Safaricom basically does. Then we pay them a lot of money. Anyway, that is how it is done. You just design your code, host it, and make your settings on African stocking, and then you're good to go. Now for our case, we need to do a USSD code. Then we come here, we get our service code. Let's just copy this service code. We enter it here, make a call, boom, it gives us the menu. And now from here, we can test it if our code is working or not and fix it. Once it is ready, we host and it is live. Anybody can access it on their mobile phone. So that is about launching a simulator. You launch a simulator, choose your country, enter mobile number, enter service code, complete the steps, and that's it. So that basically is all I wanted to explain on this video about USSD, because it is something we interact with every day, and we think that people who make these things live in the moon or somewhere or out of this country. Is something that can be done. And if you feel that this is a service that you'd want to incorporate into your business, whether you're a business person or you're an organization, you can contact me using this link. My email address is domisemark@gmail.com and my phone number is 0780-303-469. Thank you for your time. I hope to hear from you. I'm looking forward to your feedbacks. I'm looking forward to work for you, create for your USSD project if you need one for your organization. So that was my time, and thank you very much and have a good day.